Hey, welcome back, everybody. So here's the funny thing. Home sales in June actually have been going up. Now, we're going to do our recording in a slightly different location because we're having a lighting issue, waiting for the power supplies to arrive, so that we don't get caught up with some technical issues like last time. But hey, let's get back and talking about what the heck. So June is doing a little bit better. June is seeing more sales. June seeing a little more appreciation. Well, let's get into that. Okay, so when we talk about sales, there's a lot of things that we see each and every week as we're going through the metrics of single family. Condos, that's a slightly different market. They're suffering a little bit more. However, is new, resale construction and new construction foreclosures. We're going to go through all of those and talk a little bit about what's going on. So when we see this, when it says NAR says, hey, listen, existing home sales rise year over year in June, roughly about a 2.8% year over year increase. We've seen a mild increase in some of the pricing. The real question is, are we seeing that in our market here locally also? Because this is on a national level. And of course, as we know, our market versus California market versus Michigan market versus, Florida or Arizona, completely different markets. And so we need to just dial that in. And funny enough, as we take a look at it, our markets are doing, well, very much similar. Yes, we have more active inventory, which is situation normal. Yes, it's been in a heading up trend, since, basically 2022, when we had a lot of, in 2022, along with 2021 and 2020, we had very little inventory. So it's not uncommon. In fact, this time of year, we should have 26,000 homes available out on the market. Now, understand, that's 3/4 of Washington state, and that is something we absolutely 100% expect. We're still below all of that, but as you can see, even from the numbers up here, so pending sales, as you can see, that's almost like spot on perfect. And when we take a look at closings, again, just edging barely ahead of what's going on. Situation normal. The vacation trifecta has ended between now and really towards the end of August, before Labor Day weekend. We're going to see a pretty aggressive summer market, which is situation normal. And then we start to slow down again, last minute vacations, kids getting back in school, things like that. And it'll pick up again towards the end of September. So if we come back and we take a look at this, it says, look, despite elevated mortgage rates and ongoing affordability changes, buyers remain active. And I 100% agree with that. However, here's a however. We have seen what we would call a balancing, softening, I guess I should say, not a downward trend. Our pricing is still heading in a positive direction, flat to positive. The however is we're definitely seeing more collaboration, not just kind of a autocratic feeling from sellers. Some of the sellers that we work with out there are probably not going to like that, but the buyers that we work with are going to be going, yay, because here's the thing. It's becoming definitely more balanced, and it benefits both sides, equally, and homes are still selling, within 7 to 10 days for, well-priced homes. So keep that in mind. But as we come back here, we continue. It says closed sales increased 2.3% over June of 2025 and 10.2 over May. Situation normal, we've been talking about that. When we take a look at the Northwest MLS, we talk about our takeaways. Total number of properties listed for sale increased by 16.4%. That's not a whole lot of homes for 3/4 of Washington state. When we take a look at closed, it says month over month closed sales. Those are up 2.3% year over year. We've seen a 10.2% as far as a closed sales over the month of May. Again, totally expected. When we come down to medium sales price for residential home and condos, I normally don't include that. This is an MLS thing. Sold in June was $650,000, but that actually was a little bit lower than it was last year. 650 versus 670,000. Now, I will tell you, hands down, condos are what really kind of brought that down. Condos are suffering. We've had a few that we put under contract recently, and the sellers are, well, they're not as happy as what they would have liked to have been, but still happy to get their home sold. Buyers are seeing some really good values. Condos are, if you're looking at a condo or a townhome right now, now's a really good time to take a look at them, because those prices definitely have softened. And again, why we removed them from our residential mix, except for the MLS here. Anyway, moving on. As we take a look at this, our headlines look, new home sales slide to multi-year lows. The however is, when we take a look at it, it's more of a slide sideways, not a slide downward. Existing home sales continue that sideways trend. There we go. See, just told you. 30-year rates are a little bit lower than what they were by 0.01, where they were at the prior day on Thursday. Mortgage rates are back up to the 10-month high, and a lot of that has to do with what's going on in Iran and whatnot right now. So when we take a look at Freddie, look, we're still 0.25% lower in rate today than where we were at this time last year. That's a super important message, because a lot of folks are saying, oh, rates are high. Look, we're 0.25% lower than where we were at last year. And we're going to see some of that again as we start to balance out. If you look at the chart, let me get myself out of the way here. If we look at the chart, we've been for the last 2 months just kind of just bobbling right along. Yeah, we go up a little, then we go down, then we go up a little bit, then we come back down again. Nothing super crazy is happening out there in rates. And remember, between 6.25 and 6.5, that's your 50-year average anyway. Expect that to happen. A lot of folks are asking, are we going to get back down to the 4%? The answer is no. I don't see that unless they're artificially bought down. I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially when basically, we're spending what? $15 billion a week in interest right now. They've got to put a damper on that one if we're going to see a few things change in that economic world. Anyway, moving on. When we come back, we talk about what's market time. So we were basically, we're 2 days higher than we were at 2 weeks ago. And as far as days on market, we're at 38 days on market on average right now. Year to date, we're actually down 1 day from where we were at 2 weeks ago. And then when we take a look at list to sales price, down 1%. But again, we're about the same when we take a look at year to date as far as list price to sales price. That number is still, again, very close. We're not seeing anything magical or mysterious or crazy happening there. It's just situation normal, much like if you take a look at, and we will, new construction. It's not up and down like this. It's pretty much steady Eddie all the way across. All right. When we come over and we take a look at our running 7-day average, what's super funny about this, so listings coming on market, 1,482, and then pending are 972. Now, what's super interesting about that is that all week long, until yesterday, Friday, our big list date, those numbers were flipped. We were seeing between 600 and 700 homes coming on market as our running 7-day average, and we're at about 1,000, 1,100 homes going pending. On Friday, whoop, that flipped, which is kind of interesting, because when you look at this, you'd say, oh my gosh, we have more homes coming on market than going off. Okay, on Friday, but the rest of the week was actually lower. In fact, I was going to take pictures of it to show you, and then I thought, nah, I'll just tell you about it. It's a lot more exciting that way, because you just got to love hearing my voice. I know, that's why you all listen. Speaking of listening, remember, like and subscribe. Here's the thing. There's no marketing here. It just helps the folks out there take a look at it. You watching the video and sharing it, it just helps others make a really good decision. So if you wouldn't mind, just do us a solid. Like, subscribe, share the video. That'd be absolutely awesome. And, well, always comes back. All right. So let's talk about what's going on in the market. So here we go. When we take a look at the green center chart, You can see that sales are down for the month of July by 143 homes. Not that big of a deal, but we're up 158 pending, which is actually kind of nice. Year to date, we're actually up just shy of 2%, almost 2x versus the shortage of closed homes, which is 368 homes. Now, here's the thing to understand. Those are pretty small numbers, all things considered. I mean, you're only talking about 1.2%, 1.3% offset, and we're already halfway through 2026, which is shocking in and of itself. So when we take a look at it, we will play a little bit of catch up. I know that we will. Those numbers last year did the same thing. For the last 3 years, we have been very much like this. So if you're out there and you're listening to some of the, I would say, not misinformation, but maybe, there's statistics, right? So you have lies, there's damn lies, and then you have statistics. You're seeing the consistent ones each and every week. Our market is plugging right along. We are actually doing quite well. We're not sinking with the tidy bull man. We are still seeing a lot of activity happening, as you will continue to see here. So as we move over and we take a look at what's going on, even though it says we're down 0.5% year over year for the month of July price-wise, we're actually, from last week, we're only down $1,000. This year to date, we're down, or actually we're up $2,000 because a couple of weeks ago it was $842. Now it's at $844. So even though it says we're down a little bit, actually 2 weeks ago, we're actually better. List of sales price and everything else. New construction, here it is. Look at that. Okay, pretty much a flat, steady Eddie kind of thing. When we take a look at it and we look at, for the month of July, we're down 32 homes coming on market. We're down 15 sales, and we're down 9 pendants for the month of July. It's the first part of July, so the latter half, when we start to see more deals come through, month end, we do better. We're 517 homes off from where we were at last year as far as closed, and 256 on pendant. What's important about that? Those numbers are consistent. We just kind of bobble right along with those. And as you saw from the prior chart, it's pretty flat. They're pretty consistent with sales and pendants. Month end, you get just a lot more opportunity, and that's something to keep in mind. So as we pop over, here's a classic example. So pricing as far as the average sold price, well, it's up a couple of $1,000s, right? We're up 2%. And then, of course, we're up 0.3% year over year. I included that center chart. The center in the middle says year end. We always see a greater number of sales. That's your red line at the end of the year because builders want to make deals and get things off the books. If you take a look at the left side highlight, that's June of last year, June of this year. Look, it's the same thing. Same sales cycle, same everything. It is situational. There's nothing that we're seeing that is super crazy out there that you should be mindful of. Sure, month end, best times to get builder opportunities. Yes, they will maintain plat integrity. So work with an agent that knows how to negotiate with builders, because price is not one of them. Working with the site agent, they are not going to give you the best opportunities or the best deals because they are paid a bonus for not doing those things. So it's like having a prosecutor represent you, during your criminal case. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Just saying. Anyway, with that, make sure that you're taking a look at all options, and there's a ton of them out there, including resale inventory that's out there for you. All right, moving on. Bank-owned properties, bank-owned, they've been creeping up just a little bit, nothing monumental. And we have 38 more homes on market today than we did last year. Yeah, whoop-de-ding-dong. 11 more homes came on market this month than last year at this time. Okay, again, whoop-de-ding-dong. We've got a few less sales, a few more pendants. Year to date, we only have 140 more homes that came on market. There are a few higher defaults that are happening, mostly seconds. The number one reason for foreclosure right now, shockingly enough, is still divorce. The shadow inventory and whatnot of folks that have not been able to make payments. that's a very small portion, and definitely not in our area as much because they've had a lot of time to recover, even with our last 3 years of more flat-ish type of market. So if you have any questions, hey, put them down below. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Have a fabulous weekend. It's absolutely stellar outside. Happy 250th anniversary from last week since we didn't do a video. Smash that subscribe button. Let us know that you love the channel. In the meantime, have yourself a beautiful day. I will see you on the next video. Take care.